right? Political economics. These are forms of government. These are 5 forms Plato covers. It's a good example of, once again, the strength of Platonic thought, that it's hard to find a form of government today that does not fall under one of these 5 types, or some combination thereof. So we have tyranny. For Plato, is the rule of one single powerful individual. Right? So originally the word just means one guy's in charge. It doesn't have a negative connotations. Over time, right, these tyrants are all so terrible that it picks up this idea of, if you're a tyrant, you're a horrible individual. A good example of this was a tyrant who used to he built this bowl, Phalaris, the tyrant Phalaris. He built this bowl such that when you constructed a big bowl, you could open it up and you could close it with people inside or a person inside, and you could light a fire underneath it. And the way the mouth was constructed was that there was a tunnel, so when people were being burned alive inside the bowl and screaming, it came out as moo. So he'd eat dinner as he made the bowl moo, right? So people like him gave tyranny, for a very good reason, a bad name. Democracy, right? Now Plato's going to call this mob rule. Right, we have a form of oligarchy of wisdom combined with democracy, if you like the Constitution. I think the Constitution is a good set of ideas, right, to balance out the impulses of the mob. Right, then we have both of these in operation, and an oligarchy. Right, the rich have a disproportionate amount of influence in America today. We can see how these combinations come together. During World War II, right, oligarchy is the rule of the wealthy, or the rule of the few, literally, but it's usually, right, the wealthy few. Democracy is the rule of honor, or the rule of the warriors. If we think after World War II, when we had Eisenhower as our president, a 4- or 5-star general from World War II. This guy was our president, right? Those kind of individuals. After World War II, we had a more democratic element in our society. These days, less than 1% of our population, right, does our fighting, and we don't have a large democratic or influence of people who have made a living at war, right, and are still part of your citizenry, right? But there's a possible form of government where they run things, which was called Sparta. Right. So, and then we have oligarchy of wisdom. You can look at theocracies. This is an attempt, like the Mormons do, to put back in the day, right, to put religious individuals in positions of authority or power, something like you see in the Middle East, right, a combination of secular authority and religious authority to a single individual, right, is quite common. These are called theocracies. Now, if they're well done, they're oligarchies of wisdom, a small group of people. The priests are in charge and they direct things correctly. If they're done poorly, right, then it's more of just a pure oligarchy, right, it can devolve into a tyranny. Right? The Catholic Church aspires to be an oligarchy of wisdom. Insofar as successful in this is a different question. But that was Plato's ideal form of government, was an oligarchy of wisdom. But we can kind of see that once again in the American Constitution. We have these very good ideas. They're not just passed down from our founding fathers. These are drawn out of Aristotle, drawn out of Plato, right, and put in restrictions on, so you don't have this tendency, which they did in ancient, right, Greece, the direct democracy, where everybody voted on everything every 10 days, and all kinds of things just got out of control. They have, you could get upset with somebody, you could order their execution, and 10 days later you're like, well, that was probably hasty. Well, it's kind of too late. So you avoid these kind of concerns when you build in a process, a due process, different things you have to go through like we do in our judicial system, so we don't have those rushes to judgment and execute somebody that half an hour later, like, well, turns out he's innocent. Right, that's bad. Right, we don't want to do that. Right, and political economics, right, that's system economics. And this is one that's actually been fought a Cold War over, right, from into World War II, I guess you could say, when the Cold War began, till until perestroika, 1989 or so, right? So we got capitalism, right, socialism and communism. Communism was where everybody owns everything. Socialism is where the worker owns the means of production. So if you worked in a factory, the people that worked at the factory, all the workers there would own the factory. But they don't own everything like in communism. Communism, everybody owns everything, and therefore everybody owns nothing. In socialism, the workers own their place of production. Germany will do a nice mix of capitalism and socialism. For instance, when they put together their board of directors for companies, at least they used to do this, right, they would put 5 representatives of workers, 5 representatives of the owners, and these together would pick the 11th guy who would be the deciding vote, right? So the workers and, right, the owners then pick the deciding vote breaker. If they ever have a disagreement that divides them into camps, they have the 11th vote, right, that they select together. So that's an example of socialism and capitalism working together. And in capitalism, individuals, right, are the sole owners, right, of property. Right, so the different ways of coming at, right, economic systems, different ways of organization. Communism seems to work very effectively in small groups, 300 or less, small societies, Quakers, right, Mennonites, this kind of stuff. Right, larger structures tend to go to a system of command economics, where you had Moscow that said, we need more TV, TVs. We need TVs. We're going to measure our production of TVs in terms of weight. So you have these TVs that weighed 1,000 pounds each. Not a lot of them were made, but they met their production quota of making a certain weight of TVs. So you have these command economies that aren't as effective as market economies, where individuals make their own private decisions, and collectively this then creates a marketplace. But different ways of organizing, some combination of them is always possible, right? When we come at something, things like Affordable Care Act, right? Social Security, right? Medicare, Medicaid. These are socialistic programs, one might say. So America has both aspects in it. Not a lot of communism here, but certainly aspects of both capitalism and socialism, right? And how aesthetics, right? There's examples of some other modern forms where you kind of have these artists trying to challenge the intellectual community, trying to define art, going back and forth. So here we have a toilet turned upside down called The Fountain by Michael Duchamp. Right? Whatever he's trying to do with that's what he's trying to do with it. Or a pile of bricks. He made a number of these different pile of bricks. I don't really see the artistic value of either one of these, but perhaps I'm not very good at this stuff, right? My favorite story about this, nonetheless, is I think it comes from the Museum of Modern Art, I believe. And there's an artist had taken this trash can. He filled it up with cigarette butts. So each cigarette butt represented a different thought, different emotion he was having, this kind of stuff, whatever. His entire trash can then full of cigarette butts. So the museum closes down for the night. A cleaning lady goes through and empties the trash can and throws it all away. Thinks it's trash because it is, right? At least in my view. I don't see much value to that, right? But somebody else did, right? Oh, good for them. But I think we should put the cleaning lady in charge of the museum because she has better taste, right? Then maybe, I don't know, maybe this stuff does it for you. Anyway, what I got out of my studies of aesthetics, and I haven't done this for a long time, and so we don't really do it in undergraduate folks, is that beauty kind of captures the mind, right? One loses one's free will. It's like, wow, you got to take a look at that. And then intentionally constructed beauty is art, be the idea. But you can argue that art is something that creates emotions. There are all kinds of ways to come at this. I'm not trying to give a final definition. Folks, I'm just trying to give, an example of different aesthetical theories, right, how you come at that. It's one area, but we don't do a lot of it here. But it is an area of philosophy that you can take a look at, and some people find it fascinating. I find it interesting, just there isn't much call for it at that undergraduate level. Right. Thank you much, everybody.